Hello, Go Horrors and fellow Deadites. I'm Brendan,
I'm Sam,
and welcome to Our Life in Horror
and we're doing a new movie review.
Eh, for the first time ever.
Yeah, we usually don't do lives on the movies that just come out. But a friend of ours asked us if we would be interested, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So very excited. We did put out our spoiler-free review on Final Destination Bloodlines already. So if you have not seen the movie, I would recommend just watching that.
Yeah, we are going to do another quick, brief
Spoiler-free thoughts here.
spoiler-free thoughts. And
Yeah.
then we'll be diving. We won't be going as in-depth like we do with our regular live reviews.
Yeah, like the memorable quotes and stuff like that, because
we've only seen it once.
Yeah. I didn't bring a pad of paper in the theater with me, but yeah, we will be getting into spoilers today, but we will say some spoiler-free thoughts to start. Oh, hello, Max. Yeah, do you got anything you want to add, or should we bring our guest in?
I think we nailed it.
All right. We will bring out David.
Hello, David.
Hey.
No stranger to the channel. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, that does it. That's it. I'm good.
Where can people find you? Because you like to interact in the horror community.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Sparkly Goodness. I'm on Blue Sky as well, which is I think that's at huckleWrights.bisky.whatever, and that's pretty much it. That's where I'll be talking. I am trying to be more active on Blue Sky just because I'm not active on there like at all. To the stage where like they logged me out of the app, and I was like, oh, that's a sign I haven't been using it enough. So yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I started I got into Blue Sky a lot like at first, and then I kind of drifted back over to X, which I hate, but it happened and I'm accepting it. I'm just accepting it at this point. Before we get started, I wanted to know what your thoughts on this franchise as a whole are. Like, have you been a fan of this franchise or not so much?
Yeah, I'm not going to say a die-hard fan, but purely because I can't remember how long ago, but I watched the first 3 with my parents because the first one, one of the deaths in it actually made me cry. So it was like when I was like considerably younger that I watched the first one, and they were like, "Oh, maybe let's turn this off. He's not ready for that yet." But so I watched the first 3 with my parents because my dad's a big fan of the second one because that's when they started getting like funny, and then I saw the third one, and then I never saw the 4th and 5th one because I think at the time I would have been too young to see them in the cinema, and I never sought them out on DVD particularly. So the first time that I saw them, I think, was like the tail end of 2023 was when I first saw those 2.
Okay. What about you?
Me? Oh, I watched the first one at a young age as well on cable TV on the Sci-Fi Network. Those were my late Friday night horror movie watches. They usually did a nice double feature. So I do remember that one, and then I didn't start watching the rest of the franchise until the 3rd one. So then I think I went and rented them at my local library because you could rent movies there. So this was my first one in theaters. I think it's an okay. It's not quite as consistent as some other franchises, but it's a good like throw it on every once in a while kind of franchise.
Okay. Yeah, I think the 3rd one is the one I saw first, and that was back when I was in like high school, and I loved it. And then I watched the 2nd one, and then I didn't watch the rest until I was with you.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're fun, but there's a couple that one definitely that I don't like.
Yeah, there's definitely a dud in here.
It's been a while since I've seen them though, so like I can't really. I know we're gonna do a little bit of a ranking at the end, but I might not be able to participate because I'm unsure. I could probably give you my first few, but before we get into spoiler-free thoughts on this movie, though, I'm gonna just say what's up to the chat, and then yeah, we'll get into it. Final Destination 6 Bloodlines. Okay, Ryan Swayze, hello.
Hello, Ryan.
Yes, please like the video, subscribe if you are not already. Thank you. And Mike.
Hi, Mike. Are you not sick of us yet?
I know we recorded with Mike and Bitter Wolf yesterday for 3 hours.
And then he was on the hall too, the account.
Yes. Always nice to see Mike. And Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey. Get to watch this one tonight. Ooh, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
Make sure you tune out of this live once we get to spoilers. We'll give you a warning.
Yep.
Ryan's dropping Corey's link there. Thank you. For me, this is one of the most consistent franchises. There's only one miss for me. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. Can never get sick of y'all. Ditto. Okay, so before we get into spoiling this movie,
should we do
cast and stuff? Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
It's my first review, apparently.
Yeah. We're still new to
this. Release date May 16th, 2025. Directors Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. It has a 7.2 on IMDb right now and a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Plagued by a violent and recurring nightmare, a college student heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle of death and save her family from the grisly demise that inevitably waits them all. This has a very large cast, but I'll run through some. Tony Todd, gotta mention him first. Brett Bassinger, Richard Harmon, Caitlin Santayana, Tio Brions, Owen Joyner, April Telek, Gabrielle Rose, Raya Kilstead, Anna Lohr. I think I will leave it at that. I think. Yeah.
Sure.
It's a big cast.
Yeah, as all these movies are.
Yeah. So, spoiler-free thoughts. What did you think of Final Destination 6?
I liked it. I thought it was the first for me as well. It was the first one I saw in cinemas. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know how much I would because the other ones I've only seen them like at home, which is a different watching experience anyway. And the other ones I don't feel lean into the comedy quite as much as this one. This one I found there was like a number of spots where I thought it was really funny. Don't think the rest of the cinema did. I was aware that I was the only person laughing, but
oh no!
but I really liked it, and considering like that it's the 6th movie in a franchise. It's come out 12 years after the last
14,
one.
I believe.
14.
I was just looking at fun facts.
And it's got the subtitles Bloodlines. I was like, oh, well, those are 3 things counting against it in a big way. So I was literally only seeing it as like a sort of completion thing to be like, well, I've seen all the others, I may as well see this one. And I was pleasantly surprised by how good I thought it was. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I was also laughing in the theater.
Our whole theater was though.
Yeah, like we definitely had a good crowd, and our theater was packed. Yeah, this is one in the franchise that I find blends the seriousness and the dark comedy like perfectly. Because I think there's like 3, I think it leans a little maybe too hard into the comedy. But it's still a lot of fun. 1 is probably a little too serious, but it's still fun. 2 is super like serious too. But I think this one has like a lot of good good comedy, good acting for the most part. I'd say the only faults, spoiler free, that I have towards it is that it is a little long, and very CGI heavy.
Okay. I absolutely love this movie. All I wanted when, like, beforehand, I even said this, all I want is to leave that theater on a high and to have had a lot of fun, because I was a little disappointed in a movie we saw a week before that I was expecting to have fun with. But I just wanted to have a good time, and I had that and more. Like, I just wanted good kills. We got that. I wanted like a fun cast. Got that. You know, the music is good. Everything was just fun. There's good lore. It was just a good, solid Final Destination film in my eyes. I was very, very impressed. And we were talking before we went live here, and we were talking about how there were some reviews on X. Obviously, some people are going to like movies and some people aren't, but sometimes it sucks when you read the negative reviews and you're like, oh, this person didn't like it because of this. Like, I hope I don't have that same issue, like that kind of thing. So I didn't know how to feel going into it, but I had seen so many positive reviews too. So I was really hoping I was on that team, and I was. So very happy with it.
I mean, it's sitting at a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, even critics are digging it.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of bad reviews I saw. It was just a few, and I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, Corey says can never follow logging trucks after this series. Correct. Hey, Bo.
Hey, Bo.
Just saying hi, and I'm going to take off because I haven't seen it yet. Sounds good.
That's fair.
Ryan's dropping Critic After Dark's link in the chat. Thank you, Ryan.
Everybody go check him out. He's counting his physical media collection.
Yep. Hey, Jean. Thanks for being here. I don't mind that people didn't like it. They're entitled to their opinions, but I was surprised that some people found it to be dull. That's surprising to me too.
I mean, I found it dragged.
No, okay. I didn't. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Thanks for being here. Well, we are going to get into spoilers. So if anyone has not seen this movie, get the heck out of here.
Yes, this is your final spoiler warning.
Yeah. I think I have spoilers in the title of this live. Yes, I do. I have it on the thumbnail. So after this, it is not our fault.
Yes. Go watch the movie. Come on back. Check out the rest of this live review.
Yeah.
Because we do not want to spoil anything for you. And if you don't care about getting spoiled, stick around.
Hang out. Yeah. We'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
So David, who was your favorite character?
I don't know if we're all going to be say the same person, but if our opinions are anything like what I've seen on X, we probably are. Was it Eric, the tattoo artist? I loved him.
Yeah.
He was definitely the standout character for me. He kind of reminded me of the I can't remember the actor's name, but the dickhead from the first Final Destination one, the one who hates Alex, I think it is. Carter from the first one. I should remember that because I've only watched it this morning to refresh my memory as well. So he reminded me of Carter, but with like way more as like an antagonisty type, but with like way more like humor to him. And watching him try to seduce a bin lorry was, very entertaining. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. Eric was my favorite as well. Him seducing that garbage truck is hilarious. Yeah. But he's just like, he's so funny, and what he goes through too, finding out he's not actually part of the family is like so sad, but it just came across so funny at the same time, like the way they made that scene. I also really loved Bobby, the the brother with the nut
Yeah.
allergy. He's just that's just a little sweet guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bobby is mine.
Were you?
Yeah, even though he didn't get a lot of like screen time or anything like that, he's just such a genuinely nice guy, and I think does have some good funny line delivery moments, and he just doesn't want to die.
I know you could also tell he's just one of those guys that just wants to keep the peace and like
Yeah,
sweet. Yeah.
he doesn't come off like that. When you first see him, you're like, oh, he's gonna be like the football jock kind of guy. So he's definitely playing like against stereotypes. Because that's definitely how I was gonna read him.
Okay. All right. Mike says, spoiler, this movie is now transportation horror.
Yep.
Yeah, we recorded an episode yesterday with Mike and Bitter Wolf about transportation horror, and we talked about transportation and horror, and yep, lots of Final Destination talk.
Mm-hmm.
Eric and Bobby were such a dynamic duo, but I really loved Stephanie. Yep. Stephanie is the
lead.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually really liked young Iris too. Like I thought she was just sweet, and you don't get a lot of time with her, obviously, but
Yeah, no, I liked her too.
Yeah.
At the start of the movie.
Yeah, I'm surprised because one person on Twitter said that they hated all these characters, and I was like, how?
I mean, Eric's pretty obnoxious.
Don't talk about Eric. Like
I'm just saying. I like he would have been like mine, but you guys already said it, so like I didn't want to piggyback on the conversation more because I do think there are other likable characters here. But like, I could see how somebody can go in and think he's like obnoxious.
Okay. Yes, Iris Young and Old was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Iris Old was so good. She'd be like my next standout for sure.
Okay. All right. Who's your least favorite character?
I don't think there's anyone from like the main group. But I can say, but I'll tell you who I really hated. That kid in the flashback, in the premonition.
The penny kid.
When he gets obliterated by the piano. Just such a good moment because he was a shit all the way through, and it wasn't even the thing that really bothered me the most was the jumping in the elevator. I have never been in an elevator with a person who jumps and found that person not to be a total prick. So it's but he was so obnoxious. I was like, I hope they kill him. Because I was aware, I was like, it's a mainstream franchise. It's only a 15. They're not going to go like full Terrifier with it and just have kids dying left and right. Like he's probably going to escape, and then when he just runs out of the building and just gets whammed by the piano, I was so happy.
And you get multiple moments where you think he is going to escape the situation. Like he even looks and smiles and runs away, and you're just like, I literally muttered under my breath multiple times, that little shithead. Like he better fucking get it. And thank God he did. That's such a good pick, and I forgot about him. So I'm taking that one too.
Yep, I definitely will go thirds on that. He literally causes everything. So it's hard not to dislike him. He's stealing pennies out of the fountain.
Call someone a fat ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kid hasn't been smacked yet.
Stephanie and Charlie's dad was my least favorite character. Like, sir, you don't get affected by the curse. You get no opinion. That's fair.
Stephanie and Charlie's dad. I didn't like the other dad either.
The one that died first?
Yeah.
I thought he was so sweet, wanting to get the family together.
I feel like it was forced.
Oh, okay. I thought they did a good job at making you care about him real quick and like see that he like wanted the family to be together and whatnot for his kill to be effective. To like, I don't know, that's me personally, but my theater erupted in applause when the kid got smashed. See, Mike loved Uncle Howard.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know. He's bugging me a little bit. Maybe it's just the actor.
Maybe.
I don't know why.
Okay. Premonition. So let's talk about this premonition. Of all like the premonitions we've had in Final Destination, where do you think this one kind of sits for you? How do you feel about it? Like, any thoughts about it?
For me, it's gonna be way up there because I think it's probably the one with the most that feels like most like a story since the first one. Because like in the first one, you don't know what the Final Destination series is about because it's the first film. So in that they have to like build up the characters, and then have the plane explode. Whereas with 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's at that point it's like this is a Final Destination film, so we're going to start with the people getting killed and then have it not happen. So it feels like with everything after the first one, it feels like an obligation. Whereas this one, because it was like completely like new characters or characters that weren't going to be in the rest of the film, and that it was set back in time, and like you had to set everything up. It like felt. Because it goes for a long time. Like, I think compared to the other premonitions, anyway, it seems to go for like a while. And it was So I liked it because it didn't feel like it was just setting up people dying, even though that's what it was doing. It like felt like it was like building like the world, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I liked it quite a bit because it was doing the character building as well as setting up the splats. So yeah,
I loved this premonition, and like I don't know really what happens in the trailer or anything. Like I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't watch any of the marketing. The only thing I watched was the teaser trailer of that tattoo shop. So like the poster, I didn't even notice that there's a tower in the poster. You can kind of see it in my background there. So I knew nothing about this. So when the movie started and it was back in time, I was like so confused. I was like, what time does this set in? But I really enjoyed it. And as soon as like they got to this like fancy place, I was like, oh, like it's a tower, like that's interesting, like that's going to be our premonition. Like so I started thinking of like what's going to happen, and my anxiety. I love Final Destination movies because of the intense anxiety you get not knowing what it is that's going to be taking them out. And so like my anxiety was heightened as soon as they got in that elevator. It gave me this is what I was talking about yesterday, major Tower of Terror vibes, with the bellboy and the music and the way they were dressed. I was like, ooh, this is like the Disney Tower of Terror movie. Like I love this. And they're all getting in this elevator. I'm like, is this elevator going to drop? But way too easy. Like that would have been way too quick. But like I just had all these thoughts going through my head with the elevator. And then I love that they added like a proposal in there. So like you get in your feels for a minute to kind of forget about your anxiety, because you're like, oh my God, he's proposing. And I forgot about my anxiety for a moment. And then I was like, oh wait, what movie are we in? Like, let's get back here for a minute. And then you see the kid with the coin and you're like, oh yeah, okay, we're back. Someone's gonna die here, or people are gonna die here. But yeah, the music, like that shout song that was playing, and like just everything, I really, really, really enjoyed it up until the point of the premonition ending and our lead waking up in present day. I thought was so cool.
So I knew this took place in the 60s, actually.
Oh, did you?
Because I saw that there's somebody on one of the social media things put out a timeline, and then it had Final Destination Bloodlines at the bottom in the 60s, and then the rest of the movies. And I was like, well, that was a fucking spoiler, so I should just get off of this right now. I'm like, fuck me. But I'm happy you didn't spoil anything really in particular. I really do like this because I think it's just like a natural fear. Like I'm sure everybody was scared shitless when like the Eiffel Tower was built, and
well, the CN Tower, they have glass floors you can walk on, right? And that scared me.
Yeah, so I haven't even been up there, so like I can only imagine like the fear when this thing like first opens, and whether or not it's built properly. And I work in construction too, so you know that things do tend to get skipped over sometimes here and there. So not saying that any of the buildings I've built are going to collapse, but I'm just saying it is like a fear that I have, and it's actually something I wanted to see in a Final Destination movie anyways, when we were talking about the horror hangout.
Oh, did you bring that up?
Well, it was like a building collapsing. Like I said,
Yeah,
construction accident.
construction. Yeah.
So I think it did exactly what I wanted for me personally. All the characters are good. I do like there's a couple nice song lead ups. I guess we have a category for that.
Yeah, sorry, I brought up a song too. That's okay. This is just kind of a guideline.
Yeah, but what I like about it, I think the most is that these characters haven't even lived through a premonition. They're just dealing with the aftermaths of their grandmother's premonition.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was expecting there was going to be a second premonition like early on in the film.
Yeah, I kind of was curious about that too, if we would get a modern date premonition.
Because I thought the
Or
barbecue
present day, sorry.
I thought the barbecue was going to be
A premonition?
a premonition where they just have like a gas leak explosion and they all blow up or something.
I didn't see the barbecue sign in marketing, but everyone was talking about the barbecue scene. So I thought that was going to be a premonition too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little upset that it wasn't a premonition, but I'll live with it. Because I do think this premonition is really good. Like you got the little kid who's just a fuck. And this is like the first one too where she gets the premonition and she actually stops the event from happening altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Because in all the other films, I believe all the accidents still happen anyways.
And only a few people die.
And only a few people die.
Yeah.
This is where like say 50 to 100 people live and survive.
Mm-hmm.
So she totally stops this whole thing from happening at all,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was a nice change.
Yeah. Okay. Special effects and gore. What are your thoughts on that?
The gore, there was lots of it, so couldn't be disappointed with that. There was a lot of gore, which the special effects, and when I said to you before, I think you'll like it because it's because of the pacing. I almost, and I didn't in the end. I was like, no, let them experience it as fresh as possible. I almost brought up the CGI because I was watching it and I was having a good time, and part of it was to do with like the slight jankiness of the CGI because it's very noticeable, but it didn't bother me particularly. I was just like, oh, this is nice. It was kind of, I actually found it kind of endearing. And I watched 4 and 5 yesterday, and they're the two that are the most CGI heavy. And CGI has come quite a way because when I was in the cinema, I was like, God, the CGI hasn't improved since the 4th and 5th one. Oh boy, it has. Going back and watching the 4th and 5th one, I was like, ew. But no, the gore, there was lots of it, and that was a lot of fun. But there was that reliance on CGI, but it bothered me less than overuse of CGI bothers me in other stuff. Like I was like, if there is going to be a horror film that relies on it too much, I'm glad it was this one because it kind of added to the humor of it, I think. But yeah.
Do you want to start before me?
Sure. Yeah, this movie relies incredibly heavy on CGI. It didn't necessarily take me out of the movie at all, but I don't think it looked awful by any means. But you know it's CGI. But I think that's just because these kills are also like fantastical and
like wild.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do anything like that practically anymore. Like there's like the first kill that I really like. Well, let's see what we talk about it is so like I literally burst out laughing just because I thought it was so funny. But I think it's really well done too. Yeah, I could see some people being turned off because of that reason, but I don't think we've had any practical effects since the 3rd film. So, you should be all right with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna say hey to Ashton.
Hey, Ashton.
Hey, Ashton.
We are in the spoiler section of our Final Destination 6 Bloodlines review, in case you have not yet seen the movie.
And if you have seen it, let us know what you thought of it. Mike says, yeah, I didn't mind the CGI in Bloodlines. I didn't mind it, and it wouldn't have mattered if you told me, because I actually saw other people's reviews with headlines with the word CGI in it, so I knew that there was going to be CGI. But it was fine with me, like, because like you said, the kills are so outrageous. It didn't take me out of the movie. I was more just like having fun with it. Like you said, David, like it makes it kind of funny and comical at times. And then the one scene, oh my God, thank God I forgot to put my rings on that night, because when her finger is stuck because of her ring and you see her skin just, oh my God, me and Jess both like out loud, we were both just like, oh my God, like I literally like cringed. It was so nasty, and yet like CGI, but like it didn't matter, because the idea of it was so gross. And then yeah, just so many scenes, like so many kills that were just like you said, would be so hard to do practically. So like I think just the ideas of the kills were so well done that you're thinking more about that than you are about the fact that it's fake, I guess. So it didn't bother me. And yeah, loved all the kills. So we'll get into what was your favorite kill.
I mean, the temptation is there to just say the kid getting hit by the piano, but it was. Hold on. If so much. I'm gonna go with the hospital. If the barbecue scene hadn't been in the trailer as much, I would have said that. But I mean, I go to the cinema a lot, so I'd seen that trailer about 6 times before I'd seen it, so I was well aware of the events in that. So it's probably in the hospital with the is it an MRI?
MRI, yeah, lots of people in the chat are tuning in with that.
Yeah. I love that, because that was one of the ones. It had like the pacing of like other kills that had, like in the series, where like as soon as like something just innocuous as the clipboard falling, just turning something on, and I was just like, oh, this is going to be one of those ones where it like snowballs into something much bit, and everything about that. And then when it stops being like going up, I was like, huh, well, how are they going to do it? And then the phone went onto it and manually overrode it, and I was like, oh, this. And it was just it was so good and so funny. And why anyone would get pierced there? Why? like
for that.
Piercing?
Yeah, there's a name for it, and I forget.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a single piercing.
The one for there, I think it's the Prince Albus.
Yes, thank you. That's the one I knew too.
Nope, didn't even know it had a name.
But yeah, so that was probably my favorite kill, just because of how it just like escalated so much, and by the end was just like a mess. Yeah,
I agree. That was my favorite as well. Just the whole lead up to it too, like him talking about how they're gonna kill him with the peanut allergy, which that actor has a peanut allergy in real life, actually, a deathly one. I was reading online. So what a way to go out in a movie, right? But yeah, just the whole lead up with like the vending machine. Like as they were like tipping the vending machine, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure more people die from vending machines than plane crashes. I think that's a fact.
Last year.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like just the whole lead up to it was so good, and then what actually ends up happening is so good. Plus they were my favorite characters, so like they're like comical while it's happening, and like yeah, it was just so good.
You guys took mine, so I'm gonna go, because I do think it's a great kill. I love how it just keeps escalating. I definitely thought that there was gonna be a moment where the pierced up guy is gonna be holding him in front of him with the CAT scan machine, and like his piercings were gonna go through his head.
Oh,
And I was like, that would have been kind of cool too. But I do like the way it goes, and I do like how he's pushed through it with the wheelchair. Just slow and extremely painfully looking. But I think a close second for me is the grandmother's kill, because it is just it's so simple, it's so quick, and it just catches you right off guard.
Yeah.
Because we have the north, west, south thing on top of the roof, and it falls and smashes on the fire extinguisher, and then just goes right through her face at the main character. And I'm just like, I definitely burst out laughing at that, because I was just so taken off guard by everything that had happened in like 30 seconds.
I just love that scene in general too, how she like knows that death is coming and she's like, watch me. Like she's gonna sacrifice herself to prove that everything is real and that this bitch needs to take the book.
Yeah. But realistically, if she just would have stayed in her cabin, then this movie wouldn't have even happened.
Yeah, that's true. But if she would have died from natural causes, would it then go down the bloodline?
It would, but who knows how long she had.
She's getting old.
Yeah.
So
like she already admits that she had cancer. But
yeah, so that's probably why she did it. Because she knows she's going anyway. So like
yeah. But still, you would have got a few more years for the rest of your family anyways. But yeah.
Well, now she thinks she's crazy though. So
yeah.
Ryan, thank you putting Mike's link there in the chat. Yes, the allergy is real for that actor. The scene where he's eating the peanut butter cup too, and he goes, "Oh my god!" and he's like, "It's so good."
It's so good. Yeah.
The nut check scene was funny. Yes. Yeah. Where are we? Favorite kill. Another kill I want to bring up before we move on is just the premonition of all the bodies falling and just hitting beams, and it's just so violent and so good, and it just got me so excited for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Tony Todd scene. We'll talk about Tony Todd scene. Do you like what they did with this character? Or
I did, because in all the other ones where he's appeared, he's been like, it's like a creepy mortician who like knows shit, and I was like, oh, like that's the sort of like character that you have in like a lot of horror films, where it's just like the spooky person who just knows what's going on, sort of thing. And I always thought in I think it was when I'd seen the first two, and he like knew very specifically how it worked, like how the death worked and stuff. I always thought that he was like, he wasn't death himself, but he was like associated with him somehow, like would be like on his side, but because like, and that was how he knew. So lore wise, I very much liked how they tied him in, and like how it's like the reason he knows all about it is because he's like on the list. And I mean, I say this a lot, I'm an idiot when it comes to film, so if you bury the lead with something, I will not remember the lead exists until you bring it back up. So having him be the kid at the beginning, that blew my mind when he was like, oh, I know her from this, and it showed the little kid at the beginning. I was like, oh, no way. And when the premonition was happening, it didn't even register to me that he was going to be the kid. So I thought that was good.
I was gonna ask you if you caught on to that, because I didn't either. I'm also the same way. Like when something is off the screen, I forget about it and I'm on to the next scene. So I also did not think like, oh, he's the little boy. You did?
Oh yeah.
I bet a lot of people did.
I'd seen one of the more negative reviews on X, and I think when we've been talking about the negative reviews, I think we've been on about the same one. They said they pretty much as soon as they saw the little kid was like, oh, that's going to be Tony Todd's character. Not me, just completely oblivious to it until they actually said it. So yeah.
Yeah. I just want to put up here, well, Ashton said Tony Todd scene made him cry. I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat. And Mike, yes, I actually read on one of my fun facts is that Tony Todd had complete creative control for his scene, and this is the way he wanted it to be done. He wanted it to be advice to his fans and like his send out kind of thing, which makes it even more emotional. I literally just got goosebumps talking about it. Yeah. What did you think of the scene, Brendan?
I think it's an incredibly powerful scene, especially with everything that went on. Yeah, you know, outside of the film, this definitely felt like he knew something was going to happen, and I think it was a perfect send off for his character. I hope they don't try to bring his character back in any way whatsoever, because I do think this is a perfect send off. I think.
Based on the fact that he had complete control to do his send off, I highly, highly doubt they would, because I think people would be pretty upset about that.
Well, you never know. I mean, they brought back Princess Leia.
Is that Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know Star Wars.
Yeah. They brought her back from the dead, as well as some other characters. Yeah, I hope that they don't tarnish this, especially this performance, because I think it's fantastic. I finally love that we get a backstory for Bloodsworth. Trying to think of what else. You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I thought it was excellent. It was super emotional. Like the monologue, it was exactly what was happening to him out there, like the way he talked about like cherishing your last moments and whatever and whatnot, like super emotional. And after I read the fun fact, it was even that more powerful that he got to have that complete control over how his send-off goes out, and it was like him talking to the fans essentially, right? And I absolutely did love how shocked I was about the fact that he was the little boy too, and like he is just one of the bloodlines. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah. Lore, I guess we'll talk about.
Yeah, because we get like concrete evidence on how this works now.
Yeah, what did you think about the lore?
I liked it for the most part. I said to you behind the scenes that I had nitpicks with it. The nitpicks are all within the lore, because and one's not really a nitpick. One's just something that I've found kind of funny from like, but in this one you kind of get like I don't know how to phrase it. Basically, I don't like, it's not even that I don't like, but Death has a very inconsistent work ethic, because with the original 5, I think 1, 3, and 5 are all directed by the same guy. And I think he definitely did 1 and 3. I think he did 5 as well, but 1 and 3 are by the same guy. And 2 and 4 are by a different guy. In 1 and 3, definitely, the premonition happens. There is a period of time that's anywhere from between a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Then the death's course correction happens. And in both of them, there is multiple months where some of them think they've survived, and then they get like a triple shot. So in the first one, it's the 3 that are left is Carter, Clear, and Alex. They're in Paris, and then the sign whacks them, or is about to whack them. And that happens, I think that's 5 months, is it? I think it says, after the rest of the Final Destinationing. And then in the third one, 5 months after they survive the firework display, there's the train crash. Where when that guy's directing, it's Death takes his time. Death is like methodical. In 2 and 4, Death starts course correcting immediately after the premonition ends. So in the second one, I can't remember the main character's name in that. She stops the one branch of traffic getting into the pile-up, and then almost instantly a lorry comes along and smashes up the car, which has the rest of her friends in. And in 4, when they escape from the car race, when it happens, a wheel that's on fire shoots up out of the arena and blaps the head off one of the people who shouldn't have survived. So in this, it's established that because there was hundreds of people, it's taken Death multiple years to work his way through. And I just don't know what Death's work ethic is, because the amount of years it would have taken seems like too much. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it seems like too much. And I want to know whether he's more of a slow worker or a fast worker, because it differs based on who's directing it. So yeah, that was the one thing with that. The other one is the law. I say law. The how enclosed rooms with no one else in works, because in this one she's been in the cabin by herself in an area that looks like a death trap anyway.
But the same thing.
Yeah.
But she's safe, even though there's stuff in there that we know from previous films has killed people or just looks dangerous. So, like, the chair could have killed her. I think she hints at that when she tells Stephanie not to move until she's brought the chair over. So the chairs could have killed her. That weird big boiler thing she had could have exploded. The screens could have exploded or electrocuted or something. But she's safe because it's just her on her own in that room. And in Final Destination 2, they have the same thing. Clea has checked herself into a psychiatric facility and is just in a room by herself, and therefore she's safe. But in the first one, when Alex is hiding out in Clea's cabin by himself with no one around, he is still in danger, and Death keeps trying to get him while he's there by himself. So that's the one that niggled me more than the other one. The other one about Death's work ethic, that was just me being like, hold on a second. But with the safety or lack of safety of being in a room by yourself, that's inconsistent to a point where it bothers me. And the guy, the nice brother, Bob, was it Bobby?
Bobby, yeah.
He says, I want to come with you because I've read her book. There's so many ways I could die in the house. I was like, okay, but
so why didn't the
but Granny survived out.
Guy, yeah.
Granny
There's a
survived out in the
sequence.
death cabin.
There is a sequence where she does stop the pot from being
Yeah,
falling.
she notices when Death is working and she stops it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's if you've been surviving this scenario for so long, you just become a pro at noticing all these little things that could eventually harm you. I do agree that her cottage looks like it's prepared for the zombie apocalypse and not for safety. But I do think that she is probably, because I think we get hints at like Alex in the first movie. He's like slowly catching on to Death's design with the fish hooks, stopping the fish hooks from coming out of the closet, and Clear also being stuck in that one room. I think it's, if you're good enough and fast enough to recognize the signs, then you could probably almost stop anything. Just having more people around is going to make stopping things more difficult, because they're either going to be in their way or they're going to be a part of the plan by accident. Kind of like the hooks from the prosthetic man in the elevator of part 2. But I think this lore is finally set up in a way that we can take this somewhere interesting. I do like the fact that it does take a while because you don't know which family generation, like, somebody could have figured it out and then held off for a certain amount of time and then just given up, and then it restarts back on the list, like, because everybody from every other movie has seemed to figure this out within 2 body kills. So I'm safe to assume that this is a pattern that can be recognized fairly easily. But I like how now we've established that there are 2 ways to beat this scenario, which is officially you have to kill somebody else and take the amount of time that they have left, or you have to die and be resuscitated, as the girl from the second movie is, in fact, still alive. It's canon. So I do like that, and I think that sets up for interesting future installments, because I do think it was touched upon in the fifth movie with one of their best friends trying to kill them, which could set up an interesting antagonist. So yeah, I think they did a good job at laying down a solid foundation for continuing this franchise.
Yeah, there was also in the ending credits, all the newspaper articles. They have like articles of like families that died in different ways. Like there's like, we've never had a water park premonition, right?
No, but I loved that idea.
Me too. And I'm wondering if that is almost like, if they kind of like put those in the end where they could be possible movies. Like the family dying at the water park could potentially be the next, like, I don't know, the next couple movies or something, you know?
Prequels.
Yeah. Or just like following another family that is in this situation.
Yeah, because like this, I think this is probably like a certain setup where this might only work once.
Yeah.
Because in every other one, it's always been a group of random strangers or a group of high school friends. So I don't know how long you could get away with doing
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines
round 2.
Yeah, even knowing how successful it is, because it is clear also from the fact that Tony Todd and this family are the last 2 to die in that original premonition. So
okay, so it's gonna have to be a whole new premonition idea.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So like this would have to be totally reworked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mike's tuning in here saying, but she said because she was able to see death coming, like it tried to get her when Stephanie was there with the magnifying glass, but she saw death coming. That's why she wrote the book. Hey, Kaylee and Robbie. The new Final Destination was cool, especially the MRI scene. That was crazy. Yes, we were talking about that. I think that was all of our favorite kill.
Yep.
They could do a TV series of the families from the Starview restaurant. Each episode is just a new family dying. There we go. Another Netflix show like the 13 Ghosts. Let's get each episode as a family.
It'd make for a good anthology show for sure. But like you would never get another premonition.
Yeah, that's true. It'd all just be the same premonition. Yeah.
Yes, and that's
you'd have to see it in someone else's eyes, though, in their point of view. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to see a new premonition for the next movie, but
thank you, Ryan, putting that horror couples link in the chat there. And Robbie is saying they have their review up as well.
Awesome. Definitely go check it out.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can move on from lore.
Yep.
Music and cinematography. We've already talked about it a little bit, but
yeah, this is the bit I'm always worst at. All the music that was in at the beginning, I liked, because you had Bad Moon Rising, Ring of Fire. The best comedic use of Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Yes.
I love that. So yeah, no, the music that was in it that was there to like ground it in the past. I liked all of that, but that's just because most of it is music I listen to anyway. So, and the stuff in the rest of the film, I didn't notice anything either way. I don't think that really stood out to me. The cinematography wise, again, no, I've seen this film twice, and I still good. I'm terrible with acknowledging like
That's okay.
cinematography. I'm so sorry.
So am I. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't really have any thoughts either, other than the movie looked good and I love the music. Like I had fun with the same music that you already brought up. So, do you have anything you want to add? We talked about CGI already.
Yeah, I think the only thing to add is that I got pumped right up to hear the Final Destination theme at the beginning of the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a theme that's not particularly memorable. Like it's not a movie where I'm gonna go and buy the vinyl for or anything like that. But like when I heard it, I was like, yeah, we're doing Final Destination in the theater. You know? So that's about all I got for that.
Was a nice feeling. Mike says the shout scene was up there for me with the music scenes from Sinners. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see Sinners? Yeah.
Yeah. No, the music scenes in that were like, I have never seen anything like that like before, and I don't think I'll ever see anything like that since the stuff. Yeah, the stuff in Sinners was just it. Yeah, I don't even think I can like. I wasn't expecting to mention Sinners, so I've got like my.
Sorry.
I don't think I have the words ready to say it, like describe it.
It was incredible.
It's an amazing film, and that sequence was with the music was so good. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was something that probably won't ever see something like that again. Like it was just so cool. Yes, we were talking about Tony Todd's speech. I mentioned in the fun facts that he had full creative control, and like that was his send off to the fans type thing. So very, very, very sad. Very emotional. Okay, so favorite scenes and least favorite scenes, if you have anything that you want to mention that we haven't talked about yet. I know we talked about a lot of kills and stuff, but
yeah, I think most of my favorite scenes would have been it was when we talked about with the kills, like kid getting squished and MRI machine. In terms of least favorite, actually no, in actually another favorite scene, the ends with the death penny. I loved that. Just when it just like fell out of that old lady's purse and you just saw it rolling. Because that was me like having bad object permanence again, because I saw her put it in her wallet. I was like, oh cool, she's got the penny. And then I just like forgot about it. And then when you see her again and it just starts rolling, I was like, oh, there's going to be more stuff. There's going to be more people dying. This film's not over. Okay. And it like led up to that, just the big train crash. The whole town's dead and there's logs flying everywhere. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I love that they brought the logs in there too.
Yeah.
So that would be a favorite scene that I haven't covered in any of the other headings. Least favorite scenes, I don't really have one. The only scene that really kind of I was like about was the one that I'd seen in the trailer a lot, and that wasn't anything wrong with the scene. It was just I'd seen it a lot, so there was very little of it that surprised me. But that's more an issue with the people who cut trailers rather than the film itself. So yeah.
Okay.
See, I really like the tattoo parlor and how that whole sequence was just released as a tease to what's to come, and it to be a complete fake out.
Yeah, that he's not even dead.
Yeah. I think that was brilliant marketing, because
I was shocked when we saw him walking down the street.
because it's set up, it's shot, and like everything is screaming, yep, he was supposed to die. And then when you realize he's not, it's like, oh my god, like what a complete surprise.
And Mike finding out why he survived.
Yes, that was incredibly funny. But I think there's lots of good comedic scenes in this. I really like the barbecue sequence as well, because I do think that's like a perfect. There's so many things happening all at once, and it's kind of like this high anxiety kind of driven thing because you don't know what's gonna be the causing factor. Tony Todd scene is one of my favorites. Gotta think. I there's nothing that I would say is like my least favorite. I do like the sequence also with the girl getting picked up in the garbage chute, kicked in the face with a soccer ball, because that was also like, I burst out laughing because I thought that was fucking hilarious that she just gets domed with the soccer ball. Yeah, as opposed for like least favorite scenes, I just think that this movie could use like 10 minutes shaved off of it.
Okay.
Because I think this movie runs at an hour 50.
Yeah.
So I would think that this is the longest Final Destination movie.
It is.
So yeah, honestly, I would have preferred if it was about 10 minutes shorter.
Okay. This is the first time I'm going to disagree on that, and we're in the opposite boat, because usually I hate long movies, and this one did not drag at all for me.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every minute. Also loved the scene of us finding out why Eric survived with the mom having an affair, and he's like, "Is that why you always wanted to play catch?"
Yeah.
Oh my god, our theater burst out laughing. Oh, so sad for him. But so good. Yeah, I feel like we've named all the good, like all the scenes, like Tony Todd scene, all the good kills, the premonition. I really can't think of anything else. Like I also like the barbecue scene, not knowing what was going to be the thing to take someone out or who was going to be taken out.
You're waiting for somebody to choke on a piece of glass
the
whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I really can't think of anything. I just want to point out that finger scene one more time, of her finger getting skinned with her ring getting stuck. Like, just so good. Oh, so gross. Robbie says my least favorite would have to be the pierced Wang reveal. It was hard to watch. Made my Wang hurt in the theater just watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the piercings were pretty funny. His nipples and everything.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming at all.
All right. Final rating out of 5. What would you rate this movie?
I'm gonna. If I said 5, as much as I want my instinct to tell me to say 5, I think I know, like, deep down that's probably like recency bias, but it's like it's up there. It's definitely like. No, I'm gonna 4. I'll say either 4 or 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rated it in our spoiler-free review already. Like, we rated it. I went with a 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. And I rated it a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Mike's saying 5 out of 5 in the chat here. Yeah, I was just so pleased with this movie. So it sounds like you rewatched most of them or all of them recently. So do you have are you able to rank these movies? Do you have a ranking?
I do. I did one on Letterboxd because everyone was doing the.
Yeah.
I haven't actually modified these since I've rewatched them, but I think it actually stays the same. Now that I've rewatched them. Didn't rewatch them in order. I watched 2, then went to the cinema to see 6, then watched 3, 4, 5, 1. I think was how I ended up watching them.
Random.
Very random.
So my least favorite is The Final Destination, which is the 4th one. I know this is the one that people generally don't like. I don't absolutely hate it, but it's not. It feels like the least good one by quite some way. Well, actually no, because above that, number 5 is Final Destination 5. because I think that's middling in quality as well. It's kind of close to the fourth one, in my opinion. I think it's just elevated slightly because it was a prequel by Stealth. So that's then at number 4 is Final Destination, the first one. At 3, Final Destination 2, Final Destination Bloodlines at 2, and Final Destination 3 at 1. I'm going to stay loyal to Final Destination 3 and keep it there.
Okay. All right. I like it. Brennan?
Yes, I do have a ranking, and it's very hard because, yes, we have not seen all the movies in quite some time. But my ranking would be dead last would be, of course, the Final Destination, aka Final Destination 4. We're going to stay the same on this. My 5th is Final Destination 5. And here's where we start to change things up. But at number 4, I got Final Destination 2.
Okay.
I just find with that one, I'm going to defend myself here. I just find with that one, every time I watch it, it seems to get worse for me.
Okay.
I don't know why, but every time I watch it, I like it less and less. So this is an issue I had with the last time I watched it, and I haven't revisited since. At number 3, I have Final Destination 3. At number 2, I have Final Destination Bloodlines. And, of course, at number 1, I got Final Destination, the first one, because nostalgia.
Okay. I can't rank these because I haven't seen them in a while, but I know for sure that the fourth one is last. And I know for sure that for my number 1 and number 2, I don't know about. So 3 has always been my favorite, but I really, really, really loved this new one. So I need to maybe rewatch 3 one day soon and see which one is going to take the winner for me. But it's either this one or number 3 for first place. And then the other one would be in the other spot. And then the rest of them will just be sprinkled in there. I don't know which ones. I haven't seen them in a while, so I can't answer. We do have some answers in the chat. Robbie is giving this 8 out of 10. I thought it was very well done. It was definitely the top 2 or 3 favorite Final Destinations in the series for me. Nice. 7 out of 10 for Kaylee. Nice. Lots of high scores. Recency bias for the win. Mike says 6, 3, 1, 5, 2, 4. Okay. 6 and 3 are tied. See, yeah, can that be an answer? Because 3 is so nostalgic for me and just so much fun, and like I just always think of like those tanning beds and the roller coaster and just everything. And but yeah, 6 was just so good. I just really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll do some fun facts and then we'll wrap up.
All right.
I know I kind of sprinkled some in here while we were talking, so I'm not sure how many I have now, but on September 23rd, 2022, Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein were officially announced as co-directors for the project. The directing duo are passionate fans of the series and even went so far as to orchestrate a death scene during their pitch meeting to the studio over Zoom, using a combination of pre-recorded footage and visual effects involving a fire and malfunctioning spinning ceiling fan, which broke from the ceiling and decapitated one of the filmmakers. Those involved in the meeting, including executives and producers, erupted into laughter. Well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Tony Todd. Oh yeah, I already said this one. Tony Todd had complete creative control over his final scene. His final monologue was one that the crew encouraged him to use to impart some last advice to fans. I already mentioned that in real life, the actor of Bobby, Owen Patrick Joyner, is actually allergic to peanuts. In the previous films of the franchise, the producers tried to schedule the filming of a character's death scene on the actor's last day of filming. During the making of this film, most of the actors had to film their death scenes on their very first day.
Oh,
that's fun.
Yeah.
First day, you're getting killed. The beer the family is drinking during the barbecue is Heis Pale Ale, a fictional brand that has appeared in the series since Final Destination 2.
Huh.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that.
It's a funny Easter egg.
Yeah. While an early treatment was said to delve into the deadly world of first responders, this idea was eventually scrapped due to issues with creating a coherent and fulfilling third act.
I love that idea.
Mhm.
I think that's such a smart idea, like doing a building on fire or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah. When Darlene lists off possible names of the hospital, she says Clear Rivers, who is the protagonist of the first Final Destination and also appears in Final Destination 2. The studio pulled a prank on Mother's Day by inviting mothers and their adult children for advanced screenings of the movie with a fake romantic comedy titled Love at the Skyview.
Nice.
Can you imagine these mothers?
Yeah. I mean, they had like the first half of it.
When Iris and her boyfriend pull up to the venue in the opening scene, their car license plate reads FL818E, obvious reference to the original film's infamous Flight 180. I think that was all the ones I starred for today.
This also has the oldest woman to be set on fire as a stunt.
Yes, you were saying that.
Stunt double. Yep.
Yeah.
That was also another spoiler that I saw.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's all the fun facts that I got for today. Yes, I'm excited too, Kaylee. I'm going to be on Nadia's stream with Kaylee and Christy, Sin. There's a bunch of us, and we're going to be doing a new thing called Final Girls, where at the end of every month we do a stream together and we talk about what we liked that month in horror and what we're looking forward to the next month. So our first ever Final Girls stream is going to be on the 27th, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie says, crazy swerve in this movie. You thought the glass in the cocktail was going to cut somebody, and it turned out to be a lawnmower death instead.
Yeah.
Yes. That's an awesome fun fact because lots of people were complaining that there wasn't a 180 reference.
I was looking forward to, and I didn't see it on the license plate.
Well, there she is. Thanks for coming on and for suggesting us doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, no worries. Sorry for making the review you did on Saturday hard.
Oh, that's okay.
That's all right.
We still ended up having like a 15-minute review, I think. So
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Where can people find you if they want to interact with you in the community?
I'm on X at Sparkly Goodness. I'm on Blue Sky at Huckle Rights, and that's everywhere unless you come to my house. Please don't do that. Yeah. So those two bases.
I should have put your handles in the description. I'm sorry. I asked you if there was any links you wanted to promote, and you said no. And I didn't even think about putting your X and Blue Sky, so that's on me. I'm sorry. Yeah. What do we have coming up? We're doing Repo, the Genetic
Opera Tuesday
with Bo and Kayla. That was a super chat request from Bloodwire Radio.
Yes, we're gonna have to find some time to watch An American Werewolf in London.
Yes, because I gotta watch that. Yeah, we'll review that for He Made Me Watch, and then Robbie says party at David's house. But yeah.
I don't know what else we got planned. I know not this week, but the week after, I believe Bring Her Home comes out to theaters.
Bring Her Back?
Bring Her Back, that's it. Yeah, May 30th. We might have a special little review coming out. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yes.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to everyone that tuned into the chat today for our spoiler review.
Yeah, hopefully everybody got to go see it before watching. But yes.
Yeah. But I hope everyone has a nice, it's Sunday today, right?
Sunday, yep.
Everyone has a nice Sunday, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Stay spooky, guys.